If you've ever felt like a woman suddenly pulled away, went quiet, or threw you a question that made you doubt yourself, stop right there. You weren't being rejected. You were being tested. And 99% of men fail that test. Not because they're weak, but because they don't understand what she's really looking for. Let that line breathe. Because what she's really measuring isn't your money, your muscles, or your looks. She's testing the temperature of your masculine center, your ability to stay grounded when emotion hits the room. So before we dive deep, do one thing for yourself and for every man who's tired of being confused by women. Like this video right now. It signals to YouTube that this conversation matters, that men out there are ready to rise, and it helps more brothers find this message. Hit subscribe, join the tribe, and let's decode the hidden psychology of feminine tests, and the stoic power that passes every single one. Every woman who feels drawn to a man will, sooner or later, test him, not because she's manipulative or cruel, but because she's wired to seek safety. A woman's attraction runs deeper than surface charm. It's a subconscious scan for leadership, emotional stability, and truth. When she laughs at your joke, flirts, or locks eyes with you, the feminine part of her starts to whisper, "Is this man safe to open to? Can he lead? Can he hold me when my emotions are messy?" And that's where the tests begin. They show up as teasing, small rejections, mood swings, or silence. Every test is her nervous system saying, "Show me who you really are when things aren't perfect." A stoic man never reacts out of fear or ego. He stays composed, observes, and answers with calm presence, because he knows something powerful. Masculinity isn't proven when things go right. It's revealed when things get uncomfortable. Test number 1. The emotional earthquake. The first test almost every woman gives you is emotional volatility. One moment she's warm and playful. The next she's cold or distant. To the untrained man, it feels unfair. What did I do wrong? But to the woman, it's instinct. She's watching your nervous system react. A reactive man will chase her validation. Are you mad at me? Did I do something? He begins to dance for approval and instantly loses polarity. Because the moment you seek her calm, you give away yours. She doesn't feel secure anymore. She feels like she has to lead the emotional tone, and attraction evaporates. A stoic man does something radically different. He doesn't flinch. He breathes, stays relaxed, maybe even smiles softly. He says, "It's all good. I know you've got things on your mind." And then he goes right back to his purpose, working, leading, doing what matters. In that instant, her body feels it. His stillness tells her, "You're safe here. I don't need to control you." And suddenly, her storm calms down on its own. That's the paradox of masculine energy. When you stop chasing peace, you create it. Why this works psychologically? From a psychological point of view, women associate emotional consistency with safety. When you stay unshaken by her shifts, she feels subconsciously that you can handle her depth. You become the container, the grounding force. This is why Stoicism is so magnetic. It's not about suppressing feelings. It's about mastering your responses. The feminine tests for containment. The Stoic provides it without effort. That's how respect, trust, and deep attraction are built. Not through words, but through calm energy that never wavers. What most men get wrong. They confuse Stoicism with coldness. They think they have to be emotionless statues. But a true Stoic man isn't empty. He's full of controlled fire. He can express affection, laugh, even get passionate. He just never loses himself in the moment. When she pushes, he doesn't collapse. When she pulls away, he doesn't chase. When she tests, he doesn't argue. He leads. That's the quiet power women can't resist. It's why the same man who once seemed too calm suddenly becomes the one she can't stop thinking about. Because she's realized something primal. His peace is stronger than her chaos. Transition to next test. We've just decoded the first test, the emotional earthquake. But there's another one that catches even confident men off guard. When a woman challenges your ego, subtly or directly, to see if your confidence is real or just performance, that's where we go next. Test number 2, the ego challenge. Every man who has ever been around a confident woman has felt it. That sudden jab at your confidence that makes you question yourself. Maybe she says, "You think you're always right, don't you?" Or, "You talk like you know everything." It sounds playful, but underneath, it's an X-ray. She's not looking for perfection. She's looking for truth. She wants to see if your confidence is rooted or fragile. The average man takes the bait. He argues, tries to prove himself, raises his tone, or throws a joke that secretly hides insecurity. In that instant, she knows. His ego is driving, not his essence. The Stoic man. He doesn't wrestle with the bait. He meets her eyes calm and slightly amused, and says something like, "Maybe. But at least I stand by what I believe." Then he changes the subject or leads her somewhere lighter. He never fights for dominance. He embodies it. The ego challenge test isn't about winning the argument. It's about showing that your self-worth isn't dependent on her approval. Psychologically, women equate humility plus grounded confidence with safety. A man who can admit you're right without shrinking or say, "We'll see," without tension, demonstrates self-command. She can trust that kind of man because he won't collapse when life gets messy. Test number 3, the silence. Now the tone shifts. She goes quiet. No texts, no calls, no playful messages. It's like she disappeared into thin air. Every instinct in you wants to chase. You check your phone, reread the last conversation, wonder what you said wrong. But here's the truth. Silence is not rejection. It's observation. She's watching whether your world stops when she steps back. If you rush in with desperate messages, she knows your center depends on her attention. If you stay composed, keep living, keep building, she feels your strength even in your absence. This is the Stoic paradox. The less you react, the more she feels you, because your stillness echoes louder than 1,000 words. When she returns, and she will, she'll test again, subtly, to confirm that the peace she sensed was real. And when she finds that it is, the attraction deepens into respect. Test number 4, the temptation to prove. You're with her, and she mentions another man, an ex, a colleague, a friend who's so ambitious. This is not cruelty, it's curiosity. She wants to see if you'll compete like a boy, or stand firm like a man. A reactive man will flex, "I'm better than him," or mock the other guy. The Stoic man smiles, maybe nods and says, "Sounds like he's doing well." No sarcasm, no insecurity, just quiet self-trust. That calmness burns deeper than jealousy ever could. Because what she's really testing is your abundance mindset. Do you believe you're enough without needing to discredit another? When you pass this test, something shifts. She stops seeing you as another contender, and starts seeing you as the standard. Test number 5. The emotional storm. Every woman will, at some point, bring you her chaos, not to punish you, but to see if you can hold space for it. It's that night she vents about everything, tears up or snaps without reason. This is where weak men retreat or retaliate. The Stoic man breathes. He doesn't try to fix her or match her volume. He listens. He waits for the wave to pass. Then, with calm authority, he says, "I get that. Let's figure it out together." That sentence alone, steady, unhurried, grounds her nervous system. Because the feminine doesn't need solutions first. It needs presence. You become her emotional anchor. And from that moment, she can truly relax into you. Transition to next tests. You've now seen the first layers of the feminine test cycle. The storm, the silence, the challenge, the temptation. But women also test you in softer ways, through curiosity, humor, and the small invitations that reveal whether you lead with clarity or confusion. That's what we uncover in the next section. How subtle feminine cues test your leadership, presence, and discipline without you even realizing it. Test number 6. The subtle invitation. You'll recognize this one in the smallest things. She asks your opinion on something trivial, hesitates before ordering, or lingers a second too long, waiting for you to lead the way. She isn't lost. She's reading your energy. Women test leadership through micro moments. If you say, "I don't know, whatever you want," she feels the vacuum. If you calmly decide, "Let's sit there," it's quieter. You've just passed without a word. Leadership isn't domination. It's clarity under softness. A woman's body relaxes when she senses a man who knows what he wants, yet never forces it. That's why the Stoic man doesn't bark orders. He simply moves first, with certainty that invites her in. Psychologically, this triggers her trust response. The prefrontal cortex associates decisive calm with safety. So the more effortless your leadership, the more her subconscious says, "He's solid." Test number 7. The boundary push. She'll test your boundaries not because she wants to cross them, but because she needs to know they exist. Maybe she teases you, cancels plans last minute, or says something slightly disrespectful just to see how you respond. Most men either explode or stay silent to keep the peace. Both fail the test. The Stoic man answers with steady firmness. "Hey, I like you, but that doesn't work for me." Simple. No drama, no long lecture. Boundaries aren't walls, they're frames. And when a man has a frame, a woman finally feels the freedom to be fully feminine inside it. In psychology, this is containment theory. The feminine seeks the limits of the masculine to feel held. Your composure while enforcing boundaries is the measure of your inner authority. Nixin. Test number 8. The vulnerability mirror. Eventually, she'll share something personal to see if you can match depth without collapsing. Maybe she tells you about past pain or fear. This isn't small talk. It's a bridge. A reactive man turns it into therapy or rescues her immediately. A Stoic man listens, empathizes, and maybe says, "That must have been tough. I respect how you handled it." Then silence. That silence is power. It lets her story breathe and shows that her emotion doesn't drown you. In modern relationship psychology, this is called emotional attunement. It's attraction through empathy instead of control. Women crave men who can be tender without losing edge. That's the Stoic balance. Open heart, unshakable spine. Test for 9. The disagreement. At some point, she'll disagree strongly. It's not about the topic. It's about polarity. She wants to see if you crumble under pressure or stand with respect. The average man argues to win. The Stoic man listens, acknowledges, and states his view with calm certainty. He doesn't need to convert her. He simply holds his ground. This tests your capacity for non-reactive conviction. When she sees that you can disagree without aggression, her nervous system relaxes. Because deep down, she's not looking for a mirror. She's looking for a mountain. Mountains don't move when the wind changes direction. Test 10. The slow fade. This is the final and hardest test. Everything seems fine, but her enthusiasm cools. Texts slow down. Plans get vague. It's not always manipulation. Often it's her subconscious checking. Is his interest built on control or choice? If you chase, pressure, or guilt her, you fail. If you stay centered, keep your rhythm, and allow space, you pass. A Stoic man trusts that what's aligned will return. That detachment is magnetic because it signals self-sufficiency. You're saying, without words, I desire you, but I don't depend on you. And that, paradoxically, draws her back faster than any persuasion ever could. Every test, from silence to storm, from teasing to tenderness, points to one truth. A woman doesn't test your perfection. She tests your presence. The feminine is drawn to the masculine center the way the tide is drawn to the moon. It's nature. The Stoic man isn't the loudest, richest, or most muscular in the room. He's the one whose eyes say, "Nothing can move me from who I am." That steadiness is rare, and in a world drowning in noise, it's irresistible. So the next time you feel tested, pause, breathe, smile. Remember, she's not your enemy. She's your mirror. She's reflecting back the parts of you that need to mature. Master that, and you don't just pass her tests, you transcend them. Because true masculinity isn't about controlling women, it's about mastering self. And when you do, you'll find that women stop testing you altogether. Not because they've changed, but because you've finally become the calm they were searching for. Let's land this plane with the truth most men spend a lifetime avoiding. Every woman you'll ever meet is both your greatest mirror and your greatest teacher. She will test you, not to destroy you, but to help you remember what real power feels like. Her silence teaches you patience. Her mood swings teach you emotional control. Her challenges teach you leadership. And her love, when you've earned it, teaches you peace. The Stoic man doesn't chase comfort. He creates it. He doesn't argue with the feminine storm. He becomes the calm within it. He doesn't seek validation. He radiates self-approval so strong that validation becomes irrelevant. When you live that way, attraction is no longer a trick. It's a side effect of wholeness. Because women deep down crave one thing more than status or looks: certainty. And certainty isn't loud. It's the quiet confidence that says, I know who I am, and nothing you do can take that from me. That's the energy that makes her melt, respect you, and feel safe enough to be fully feminine around you. It's also the same energy that makes you unshakable in business, friendship, and life. So, as you walk away from this video, remember, masculinity isn't something you earn from women. It's something you practice every day. In how you breathe when you're under pressure, in how you speak when you're challenged, in how you keep your word when no one is watching. Every moment is training. Every test is a mirror. Every breath is a chance to prove, quietly, that your emotions serve you, not the other way around. And when you master that, you won't just pass her tests, you'll stop being tested altogether. Because the feminine only tests what it doubts, and it never doubts a man who stands calmly in his truth. If this message hit you, if it woke something up inside you, like this video right now, it tells YouTube's algorithm that men still value real strength, composure, and self-mastery. And by liking it, you help other men find their footing too. Subscribe to the channel, join the brotherhood, and keep leveling up your mind, your energy, and your relationships. Remember, the world doesn't need more loud men. It needs more grounded ones. Hold your frame, lead with calm, and never forget, the Stoic man always passes.